So this is Gary Sanders. He bought a Bulls bike from us and he invited me into his museum or private collection, I would rather call it, of the bikes. Just look.
This is a racing bike. Whoops.
Is this a racing bike?
That's a racing bike from England, Humber. But
What?
very thin, very shallow wheel, thin wheel.
Oh, look how they built. Interesting.
It's just very light.
How to tighten?
On most of the bikes they have a step here so you can climb up. But this one does it because to keep the weight down.
For the weight. How would you adjust the spokes if one of them will stretch?
Well, I don't know if it stretches. It's pretty.
Anything can stretch.
The
wheel can. If you push, the wheel will hold a big load on a vertical, but very small load on a side.
Yeah.
So if you bend it, this string will be stretched. So you need to have some mechanism to adjust it. And I just don't see it here.
Yeah,
but anyway, it is.
This has no nipple here. You actually screw it in. These are all threaded. So you screw the end of the threaded spoke into the hub flange.
Oh, so you simply screw the entire thing.
There's this peened on the end. It's peened, so it has a knob on the end. And then it comes down here, and you have to screw it in here. And they hang it from the ceiling, and they from here, and so then they can turn it. And well, anyway, they have gadgets to determine true round and inline. This one is the only one made in the United States is this one, with levers instead of pedals. This is called a Star.
Oh,
and the small wheels in the front.
Oh yeah, that's interesting.
This makes it very different.
Look at that seat.
This is a new seat. The guy didn't do a very good job.
Oh, you mean the new leather?
Yeah, this is new leather. This is original. This is all original.
Okay.
This is from 1880s, early 1880s.
And I'm just curious how you activate it.
You push down, it will move the wheel, so you can't do it when it's on a stand. When you press down, this leather tightens because you're pulling down on the leather.
Oh, I see.
There's a drum here, so that causes the drum to turn. Then when you raise this up to start again, to have another push,
I see.
This comes loose, and by inertia, this keeps going.
I see. Now I understand. There are two windings here.
Exactly. This one is a copy. No, this is an original. This is from New York City, 1869.
Oh, look at the brake.
This was before the high wheel. This is before the high wheel. And the brake is done by turning this to wind around here and bring this pan against the wheel.
Interesting. So during the slippery weather,
you have no brakes.
You have no brakes.
You have no brakes.
What's that for? That's for legs?
For foot. You can sit on there, and if you're going down a hill, you put your. I can't do it, but you can lift your feet way up, bring it up through here, and you put it here. So this is the footrest.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
It's a little wild painting, but it's original. It's an original bike.
Interesting.
From New York City. This one was made in New York City. This is a copy. This is a replica of the very first bicycle ever in the world from 1817. It was made in Germany.
Oh, such a rubberized.
Oh, the rubber was not original.
Yeah, of course.
Because we were running this in Europe. We rode this from Nancy in France to Karlsruhe in Germany, where the invention took place.
Look at those square nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, they always all square. Oh, this is a hexagon.
Well, that's the modern
yeah,
style.
It's modern. So it's a copy, but there's they made some small
small improvements. Yeah. Okay.
I had a friend who carved this for me, And he made this special for me. It's a S for Sanderson.
No.
They often, it didn't always have things on here, but they often put something on the front, some decoration. But these are my high bikes. And
The only when you say the high bike, the only association comes to me to the electric high bike. There is the brand high bike.
oh,
They make high-end bikes for mountain.
well, these, well, actually, we call them ordinaries. These are the ordinary. That's made in
Look.
England, but it's made by a Danish man who immigrated to England, and it's called a Dursley Pedersen. That was his name, Dursley Pedersen.
What a nice. Oh, so
And he really
rims.
invented this space frame, where the,
Diamond. The first diamond frame. So
Yeah.
the rims, the brake would be applied to the wall of the rims,
Yes,
not to
which
the
is-
side.
which is very English. The English, we went for the coaster brake in the USA in the starting in the very late 18.
Where's the? Oh, that's the. Those are stays for the rear brake. Here are the stays, and here is the rear brake applied. And you press here.
This
So
one actually has
interesting.
gears. You can change 1, 2, 3 gears. And they're in hub.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a Dursley Pedersen design. Sturmy Archer was the first, but Dursley Pedersen, when he came to England and took up residence there.
That is so nice.
And original tools. This is a very nice bike. It's all original. For about 1910 maybe.
We have a antique frame in a long-term storage.
Long-term
But
storage,
that's just a frame
just the frame.
without any additional no wheels, no
Do you have
nothing.
a badge on it to tell you what make it is?
Yes, it has a badge. Oh, look at that gear! Look at that gear mechanism.
This is called a Springfield, and it was one of the first that they could go up the steepest hills with. These bikes you can't go up such a steep hill because
Oh, so
But this has more power.
that's the gear.
yeah.
That
You
is
push
the
this
lower.
down, and you can work them separately. I don't think it has to roll.
So this goes here, then this goes here. You're right. You need
Yeah.
to press them down. This chainring will go here, and the wheel will go forward.
Yeah.
So here is the lowering gear.
Yeah.
That is cool.
So this one is. Let me see if I can find the advertisement for this one. That's kind of an interesting story. Because there was a very famous hill, Eagle Rock Hill, right over here, not so far from here in West Orange. This very close to Englewood. Englewood. I used to live in Englewood, in Montclair, and that hill was very famous because it was hard to climb with these old bikes.
Mm-hmm.
And with that bike, they could go up not easily, but pretty easily.
But doable.
Doable.
Okay.
Let's see, no, I can't find it now. Well, here it is. Hill Climbing Records. This is from the Wheelman's Gazette, December 1888.
1888. Yes.
Says, we do not need to blush at the following records, the hill climbing records. Read the following and then draw your own inference as to where the records are held. Also jot down in your diary where these practical hill climbers and speedy wheels can be purchased. But it says something about Eagle Rock Hill. Eagle Rock Hill in Newark, New Jersey.
Mm-hmm. November
So it's-
19th, 1888.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see
So
that.
they're using this to sell the bicycles because it was very difficult. And with this bike, it was easier to get up that hill. and all over the main cycling areas were New England, Middle Atlantic, where we are, over to as far as Chicago, and so this was one of the main climbing hills. Everybody
Yes.
wanted to climb it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that is this bike. So nice. Oh my goodness. And look how you're supposed to hold it. Not here, but here. And brake. How do you apply the brake?
Oh, that's the only. There's two kinds of brakes. Not on this one. This is the brake.
Yeah, that's
On the high
front.
wheel, it's direct drive. So your main brake, you have a spoon brake, but that's not very good. In fact, you have to be careful with the spoon brake. If you lock up the wheel by any chance, you'll go over on the head because the whole thing will just come over. But on the direct drive, you use your legs, mainly your legs. If you press down, you go forward. If you resist the pedal as it comes up, we call it backpedaling, but you're just resisting the pedal as it comes
Yeah,
up.
oh yeah. It's
You
like
apply the
on
brake.
a single speed,
It's-
on
yes, exactly.
a fixie bike.
Fixie bike.
Yeah.
Same thing. So,
But this mechanism, you could only accelerate. It doesn't have
gears.
it can let you go only front, but
Yes, it does not go backwards.
yes,
It will not roll
yes,
backwards.
because of the gear inside.
Yes, it will not roll backwards.
So that's the classical conventional bike
Yeah.
that you would
And we
see.
call it ordinary because when they invented the safety bike, which is all this kind of bike, we call these safety bikes, and suddenly this became the ordinary bike.
Mm-hmm.
So people say that doesn't look ordinary to me, but that's what we call them. But another name is penny farthing. In England, they call it penny farthing, and in the USA, we also call it the high wheel bike. I call it the high bike, but it's really the high wheel bike
High wheel, yeah.
because of the high wheel, the big wheel.
And look at that massive chain.
See, this is
That-
your 1 inch. That's your 1 inch
that's-
link.
Yeah. Oh,
And so all these bikes have 1 inch link. It wasn't until later. These are from 1890s.
at first, I thought that those links would take two links and skipping in the middle, because this space looks like to me like it's double side. It looks like
really a 1 inch pitch. You have 1 inch between the peaks. Every peak is 1 inch apart.
and that's the style. Oh my god, that is incredible. And here
And also,
is
these are all direct drive. You see, there's no freewheel. They had not invented the freewheel yet when this one.
Uh-huh.
This is from 1890s, and it's before the freewheel. So you have direct drive. Well, now they call them fixies, but that was the first safety was with direct drive.
and that's a tandem.
This is a tandem.
Yep.
Yeah, direct drive,
And
1
now-
inch pitch, chain again. 1890s. This is 1890s also.
Oh, so that's the mechanism to tilt handlebar.
You can steer. In these days, the man sat in the back and the lady sat in the front. Yeah, and so this is the brake.
So the front rider doesn't have any brakes except
Well,
of the back.
They have it's all direct drive, so they could back pedal too, and that's a brake.
Okay.
It's all, there's no freewheel and there's no
But this
hub brake.
this chain seems to be designed to work for hundreds of years without any wear, for sure.
Needs a
Because
little oil now. It's a
yeah,
little-
if you pick a 10-speed chain, which is quite kind of, you can see 10-speed chains everywhere. The 10-speed would be twice thinner versus this. You can.
Oh yeah, right there. For the modern bikes, many differences, but that's when the chain is lighter and more flexible because of the changing.
Yes,
up and
the chain has to be narrow to accommodate a lot of
Right.
gears. So you have to choose between the weight and
This is a
gear
very
ratio.
fine tandem. This is a Victor, one of the better quality bicycles. I let two guys ride it, but I shouldn't have done it in Montclair, and they fell over and they broke that. I haven't got around to repairing it yet.
This one?
Yeah.
That thing. Okay. Okay. Now look. That's how steering mechanism works. And adjusted those stays. And
See, the two wheels move together. I'm sorry, the two handlebars work together.
yes,
This of course is going straight, but your steering is from up front.
can you? Okay, so that's fixed as well. And that's a slightly different gears, but still look.
It's all 1 inch chain.
Yeah, but 1 inch chain. But look at the thickness. Come on, man. You can drive like 5 kilowatts machine on this chain
Well,
easily. Look,
That's where
look at that.
where the chain idea came from. This, the chain-driven rear end was invented first in 1880. Oh no, actually about 1885. And the chain came from agricultural equipment.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so
They
that's
already had
basic.
steam engines. They had locomotives with steam engines.
Mm-hmm.
So they borrowed that. There were many things invented for the bicycle and not used before, only invented at the time of the bicycle. But the chain was not one of them. The chain came from machines that had been invented earlier in the 18th century.
Okay, I see. Now it makes more
19th
logical because I would rather see it on a motorcycle, but not on a bicycle.
No.
But since there were no alternative
No,
parts,
it
it makes
was a brand
sense.
new thing at that time.
Yeah.
This is Singer. This one's from England. This is an antique from all these high wheels came from the 1880s. That was the 10-year period when they were, and once they invented the safety, nobody wanted to ride these.
Yes, of course.
Too
And
dangerous.
here I can see the nipple
Now
and,
they have nipples, you see, that came a little later.
traditional spoke,
Yeah.
and you can align the wheel
Yeah.
as well as here. And that's a traditional regular bike. How would you apply brakes here?
Well, this is one of my favorite makers.
Oh,
In fact,
no.
What I ride now, I'm not strong enough to get up here anymore. I got into this in about 1893, and I rode it. It was my favorite bike, and as I told you, I rode across.
Which one? This one?
No, this style.
Oh,
I rode
okay.
all these bikes. But when I couldn't get up anymore, and also my balance is not so good, I started riding this Mead, and my favorite rider is out. I could show you when we go out.
Oh, that's the horn.
Buga horn.
Oh, man, come on. Show me how it works. No. Oh, so, okay. It's like a duck sound.
Yeah. Now, my wife and I were very big in tandeming. This is a tandem that belonged to us, and we've ridden this in Europe, and we've ridden it all over the United States and Canada.
How would you transport that tandem?
With difficulty. I have taken on the airplane. When we were riding these bikes, this kind of bike, tandem, in starting about 1990 into early 20th century, and 21st century.
Mm-hmm.
And we would you take multiple boxes and you put them this way, and actually you put two. You break the end out and you put two this way and put it in there, and you could take these off, and those.
Yeah,
You
please.
take it partially, dismantle it partially. Take the wheels off. So it
Yeah,
gets
of course,
small-
of course. Wheels, maybe rack off, make it compact. But here, that's a classical tandem. The rear handlebar is fixed. It does not allow the bike to turn. Only the front
That's
person
right,
is
yes.
turning,
This is the modern.
unlike the other
It's
ones.
different. That's the first one. Then you get to modern, what they call modern from the 1990s, 1980s.
Yeah, look at this rusty
This one.
bike.
It's an old tandem. This is probably a racing tandem because it's kind of basic. It's very little fanciness. So,
Skinny, relatively skinny wheels.
yeah.
Oh, I can see that this wheel was flattened here. And
These are so old, they're all hard. This was sitting on the ground probably. That's why.
yeah,
That's flat.
this part of the wheel was sitting on the ground, and now it's so stiff, so I cannot even
No,
move it.
it's
That's like a wood.
see a lot of bikes when I've been working on them to do a little restoration. I have to, if I'm going to restore this to operational condition, I have to cut this off, throw this away, and put a modern tire on. So you see, some of my bikes here have modern tires, and it indicates that I've worked on it and tried to get it into a running condition. This one I haven't done anything with. It's as you can see, all rusty and but has a well. As I said, I think this is. Oh, this had a front hub brake. You see, here's the the handle, and here's the anchor point. So you push, you pull, and then this would have had something on the handlebar.
Should I call it a drum brake?
Drum
instead?
brake? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's another one of my tandems that I rode.
Another tandem.
This I call my racing tandem just because it's a little. This one was made for camping. You could take tents on it and cooking gear. This one was just for day riding.
Yeah.
This one my.
So
But these were handmade for us by a builder in Wisconsin. We lived in Milwaukee for 20 years, and we had a friend who was a builder, and he made these two, this one and that one, same man.
oh, so it has dual because the front, the back has a chair.
Yeah, a lot of water bottles because you're traveling.
Yeah, a lot
in the
of
desert
course.
and so on, and
Yeah.
you can.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 water bottles. So that's a transmission, and here you switch gears.
Well, we're traveling in foreign countries. Sometimes we don't understand the system so well, so we kind of want to have plenty of water with us, so we never run out.
And look at this antique.
Oh, that's also that's another star. It's a pony star.
Yeah,
Smaller in size, but it's just like the one over there. That was.
Yes, with the 2 pedals, you free
levers.
to press.
You can do it at the same time.
You can jump on them. Yes, I can see.
You can,
Or do
you
separately.
work them separately, or you can work only one at a time if you want to, or you can work them, anyway.
Like
Because they work
kangaroo.
independently.
Yeah, I
But
can.
the more you pump, the faster you go.
Of course, yes. This is
Oh,
another.
this is an eagle. This is different again. Because it has pedals, but the pedals aren't. There's the pedals laying on the ground. It has
Those are
pedals. But the small wheel's in the front.
So does this bike considered to be safer versus this high bike?
It's definitely safer because you can't. The problem with these.
Oh, you cannot.
You can't fall forward.
Yes.
This is holding you up. These, there's lots of ways to fall here, and these were very dangerous. Actually, you have to be. You have to really understand the mechanism or the science of it, because anything that impedes the forward motion of this wheel suddenly causes you to go over, and because these are across your lap,
So
you often
yes,
hit on your head.
you would be sitting on the middle and raising raising the gravity
That's
center.
right. You're so close to the center of gravity. Anything that slows down this wheel suddenly, and you're sitting here and your weight and your head is up here, and the weight in your head causes it to go forward, and you don't just fall gently, you get slammed down.
And you can break your neck eventually.
People died. I don't think it's true, but it is said that on some days the newspaper would have a separate column just for the people who've been
Oh my
killed or
god.
at least hurt seriously.
Oh my goodness.
And so,
So it's like a COVID
yeah.
in
So see,
2018.
there's very little weight back here. This little wheel is just for balancing. This little tiny wheel compared to this, all this mechanism. So, and you're pushing. And if you're going at a good clip and something happens to stop this wheel, bam! You go over.
Yep. And there is no way to jump off, because if you try to jump off, you will hit with your knees, handlebar. So anyway, you'll fall.
Well, once it happens so suddenly.
So you don't
have
really
much
realize.
chance. Well, you can always try, but
Yeah, but this after your description, this bike seems to
This
be
is the safer
much
one.
more
now this has
safer.
a problem though. It's very difficult to mount because on these you see always this little step here.
Yes.
So you get behind it, hold on to handlebars like this,
Leg.
and then you exactly.
Left leg
Then you
here.
get it rolling.
Yes.
And it's the rolling of the wheel. You get a little gyroscopic stability, so it gives you a few seconds to sort of jump up and ease yourself in the saddle. Then you bring your feet forward onto the pedals, and then off you go. This one, there's no way to put a step back here.
Yeah, of course.
So the only way, because there's the frame is here, so the only way to mount this is to run beside it. You've got the handlebars over
You
here,
jump on the pedal,
and then you jump on. The thing is, you have to jump. You're running. That's beside you like this. So the machine is here. You're running like this with the handles up here, and then you have to take this foot over. And one time, there's only one place when it's going, because the pedals are going round. There's only one time you have to get this foot on top of the pedal and then swing this leg over the wheel and get this foot on the pedal on the other side.
Okay.
So I never was able to do that. The people who do it, it looks very graceful and but you have to have the agility to do all those things and with the right timing.
Yes, because if the pedal is like this and it goes here, so then it would rather throw you. So you need to get like at this angle to be able to tilt.
You wait till the pedals are just this. If this is the center, you get it just here. So it's still when your foot hits here, it pushes it down.
It goes
speeds
down
it up a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's good. That keeps it moving, because once it stops moving, you fall over.
Yeah.
It has to be moving. So then you have only the time from here to here to get this leg up and over. So
Yeah. Otherwise, the pedal will start lifting you and will set you out
if
of
you're not
bounds.
going fast enough, it might even
You
stop
can
the
it
bike
can
and
it
call
can
it to
go
fall
go
over.
backward. Yes.
This is a child's bike.
Oh, for the beginners.
Yeah, well, not even a beginner, because you have to write it. That would be just for the wealthy families, because this costs maybe in those days. This might cost $800.
It's like
Most families could not afford that just for a child, and once they get a little bigger, they can't ride this anymore. It's too small.
Yep, I can
So,
see.
This is an original. This is a very nice little bike, made by Gomoody and Jeffrey in Chicago.
Little springs on the seat. Yeah. And so that's just the wheel without the frame, right?
That's a wheel. That was made by a man in Madison, Connecticut. And I have several bikes made by him. This one. No, this one. Oh, wait. Oh!
Oh,
made by his name. He's dead now. And my first bike I bought from him. And anyway, I wanted a racing bike. At that point, I was much healthier. I was 30 years younger, and I was going to to New Zealand, and they were having races there. Well, I knew I couldn't win, but I wanted to participate.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted a racing wheel. And that separate wheel, you see, it's got cutouts on the sides of the hub, and again, it's like this racing bike, a very small, thin or small diameter rubber, and the wheel has to be made appropriately.
Mm-hmm.
So this wheel weighs several pounds lighter than the same wheel for this bike.
For
bike.
this one. Okay.
The rubber, of course, is one of the main weight factors. So that wheel would fit on this bike.
Mm-hmm.
And
did you see those bikes riding on the streets?
have I seen it?
Yes.
Well, I've seen it. And
When they eventually eliminated, when they were replaced with a safety.
the safety was invented. The crudest one was about 1885 or 6 or 7.
Okay.
In that, the middle of the second half of the 1880s. By 1890, it was perfected so that they were reliable, and there are some samples here. I'd have to sort it out. And they were reliable, but the big thing was the safety, and then came the pneumatic tire. The pneumatic tire was invented about 1888 or 1889 by
Michelin.
Dr. Dunlop.
Dunlop, and
Dunlop. He was a veterinarian, and he invented it for his son, who was riding this hard tire safety. The first safeties were like this one. We call them solid tire, hard tire safeties. This one. This is a Columbia, one of the very earliest ones.
Mm-hmm.
So this rubber is the same as this rubber. Same kind of wheel.
I can press it. It's like.
It doesn't. It's rubber, but there's no air in it.
Yes.
It's solid, really
but
solid.
It
rubber.
will absorb some bumps.
It will, exactly. It's some. It has some. But the real invention was to develop the air-filled tire, and it was Dr. Dunlop was a veterinarian, and his son was riding a bike like this, and his son was complaining about how it was so rough. He lived in Dublin, Ireland, and all the roads were like that, though. So he told his dad, and his dad took surgical tubing,
Mm-hmm.
and he put cloth over the surface so it had a little bit of resistance. It'll stay, but it doesn't take much shifting. So anyway, he
Mm-hmm.
It's on this stupid carpet, and it's okay now. It won't take much.
So
it won't take much. So he worked. His son liked it, so he worked on a little bit, improved a little bit, and then he gave it to his friends or some of his acquaintances who were into bicycle racing in Dublin, Ireland. And lo and behold, they won the races. The pneumatic tire was faster than the solid rubber tire.
Yeah, because it's lighter. Plus, you would go smoother through the obstacles, and you will use less energy for bumps.
And because with a solid rubber, every little stone, just the wheel physically has to go up and over, up and over, up and over. That takes more energy. Here, the little stone just kind of gets swallowed up in the.
Yes, yes.
Okay, you know that story. But
Well, I understand the physics. So while the soft tire will simply absorb and keep rolling, and the whole weight will keep straight.
Exact straight.
With these tires, it will go over, and you will use extra energy
Exactly.
to go up and down.
That's exactly right. So, this team of people in Dublin were winning all the local races. So they thought they were getting smart. They'll go to England to some of the bigger races, and they went with their pneumatic tires. Now English didn't have it because it's an invention at that time of Dr. Dunlop's, and they won all the races. Now, if you know anything about you probably do about the conflict between the Irish and the English. It was terribly shameful that the English should lose to the Irish. And they lost all the races in that time. And they realized pretty fast, they're not stupid, that it was the tires that were the difference. Because the rest of the bicycle was very similar,
the same,
almost identical.
Yeah, yeah.
So they got it. And in the meantime, Dr. Dunlop had gotten involved with some other people who were entrepreneurial, and he got a patent on it. And so there was the Dunlop Tire Company was formed. And then if you wanted to make tires, you had to get permission from him or pay him a royalty. So he got pretty rich, but he wasn't a businessman, and the people who he worked with eventually took over the business and made the money, and he got the glory, but
definitely.
the money went to other people.
I heard, to be honest, only the part of the story of the doctor with his son with the rubber, but I didn't hear the rest of the story. So thank you, thanks
There's
for
more
that.
to the story, by the way, but it would take a little while to talk about.
So speaking about this bike, can you step here to jump on the bike?
It's not necessary.
Since this is the
This
pedal.
is actually the step here.
Oh, they made this.
I don't know.
No, that's
never could figure
that's
out-
the solid.
I could never figure out. That's the step, though.
Yeah, I can.
But
yeah.
I never figured out why they didn't make it come out further. Maybe there's different designs. I only have the one model.
I can see that it's one solid piece
Yeah,
with a frame.
Exactly. See, well, maybe their feet were smaller or something. But putting my foot on there, I think it would slip off. Maybe you have to have special shoes.
slip
I
off,
don't
yeah.
know. But that's the step anyway. Right there. So they would mount it like you mount that one. You put this, you roll it, get it rolling, then you can just sort of hop up, ease yourself in the saddle, bring your foot over here. And off you go.
But yeah, and look at the mechanism.
This is a very nice machine.
This is so nice,
This
so
has been
beautiful.
restored by Craig Allen, a machinist in South Jersey that does most of my complicated work. Because I'm not able to do the mechanical stuff. I can paint and I can put pieces together. I can true tires. I make wheels for
So
motor.
beautiful. That is. Is it a? That's the front. Is it a front suspension?
I don't think so. Oh yes.
Why not?
Yeah, it
this piston can go inside.
Yes,
So that's improvement.
it certainly is. Now you have
And
that. No, you think everything's invented. A lot of things are invented now.
Look at
Everything was
those.
invented back then.
yeah,
There's
same
examples.
tires,
Uh,
spokes.
this is another style of springing. You see, your
Oh yeah, that's a
it's all
suspension.
set, and so as this goes up and down, your the pressure is taken off by this spring that's here.
Yeah, I've seen that. That design I've seen. And now look at those. Those are thinned spokes that you can see nowadays on a modern, fancy high-end bikes. It is thicker by the end,
Let's see, there's
and
no nipples
and
here. No
and
nipples.
right here also slightly thicker. So you need to screw this,
Yeah,
or
double butted. We call it double butted spokes.
or it might have a nut. Is it possible that they would have nut here?
Well, I think it's now it's just screwed into this hub. Every hole is separate and it's threaded. So this is
Okay.
actually threaded into here. There's no nut.
So you would need to, in order to adjust it, you would need to take the rubber off and use a small screwdriver to screw it in, right?
I think maybe I could find a tighten. Even on a modern bike, they tell you. I mean, I haven't bought many modern bikes, but they usually say come back in 30 days or 60 days or
Yeah, for a general tune-up, for general
general
check.
tune-up, and
Yeah,
they do all those things.
So your cables, your gear cables will stretch, they would need to adjust them. Your spokes will stretch, they would need to adjust them. That's what I normally tell to my customers, especially on the fat bikes, because those fat bikes are using cheap
Materials.
cheap unstretched spokes. So I tell all customers to stop by within a month. I will do the
Tighten everything.
some minor tune-up. Oh, yeah.
I had a collection of these Mead Rangers because I kind of fell in love with them, and everyone has a little difference, and I actually have written a lengthy paper on them, and I have examples of almost every little change that they made during the life of the existence of that bike.
Okay, but these bikes they look to me definitely old, but not as antique as those bikes.
Well, they're not.
By the wall.
This style of bike, the Safety, started, I remember, about 1890, and it went up. Well, they're still making bikes, obviously more modern. Feel this one. It's really hard. It's solid.
Well, plus the rubber is really old, and it loses
That's what happens
all
to it.
its.
It has a tube in there. You see, here's the stem.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Schrader.
Yeah, and here you have Schrader was first. Presta would never be on this kind of a bike. And here's the let's see, I can't read.
That's
the coaster brake arm. Probably new departure.
I cannot read there.
It's probably new departure. This is a very early new departure, I think.
Yeah, cannot reach it.
Now here you have, this is a half-inch.
That's
actually,
like a classical single speed.
Yeah, this is your 1-inch pitch chain, and it has rollers on the pins holding the links together. So that was another invention that came after 1900. The rollers.
So much information. So interesting.
I have to come back sometime when we have nothing else to do. We can. This one, I've restored much. I did much of the restoration on this one. Unfortunately, see, this was broken, so I made this little repair. Unfortunately, it's also been.
That net is a
Banged up
little bit
again.
loose.
We used to ride these in parades. And I still have. I get in. Oh, this is a different kind of chain, a block chain. Those are roller chains. This was the first chain of the blocks between the links. It was used on agricultural equipment. The rollers were invented for bicycles. The rollers on the separate pins. These are just, you get a lot of friction here, but they they tend to wear, and then it kind of stretches, and it either if you leave it on too long, it'll ruin the teeth on your sprocket. So you have to change these more often.
And look at the
Oh, yeah.
at the hub design.
Straight pull. This is a
Yeah, that's like this type of hub you can see only on a high-end fancy. I cannot keep it. High-end fancy bikes. Yes, yes. Nowadays a regular.
the
Uh,
little hooked.
yeah,
hook
J hook on the hub on the.
Well, this was again. This is Columbia, and I think this is Columbia. I can't read it upside down. But anyways, yeah, that's a lot of machining goes into making. That's one piece of metal that the housing there with those little prongs with the one spoke coming one way and one spoke going the other way. Well, this is a Victor. This is a Victor style. In fact, when I bought this, it was just a bucket of parts. So with my friend my machinist friend in South Jersey, we got it all set up this way. And the trouble is, it's almost too big for me. So it's not been ridden. I think it's in rideable condition.
It is.
But,
Looks like it is. Has
yeah.
both tires. Has some air, and
there was a company out in California that did this saddle for me, remanufactured or renovated the saddle.
yeah, that's that's a good saddle for the geometry of your body. So all you want
The weight on your
you won't pinch your veins here, and they can so the blood can circulate easier.
Right.
Okay, Gary. Thank you very much.
Well, I wanted you to see it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, we're into e-bikes now.
Thank you. That was Dennis, bike mechanic. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye bye.
Well,